What's up guys? Welcome back to our online learning or online classroom or virtual classroom kung ano man tawag nyo dyan. So we're going to learn something new today. So on behalf of the Lipa Grace Academy, ako nga po pala ulit, Sir Xavier, nagpapakilala sa inyo. I'm going to be your computer teacher for the rest of the year. So before we start our new lesson for today, I'm going to remind you muna na buksan lagi ang ating Google Classroom kasi doon natin makikita yung mga updates, yung mga pinapagawa ni Sir Xavier, kung magsasabit tayo, kailangan natin ng Google Classroom class. So yun po, open your Google Classroom daily and check your events. Yung mga pinapagawa ko, dapat yung isubmit on time lagi. Kasi kapag hindi nyo nasubmit yan, wala, hindi recorded, minus sa grade nyo. Okay, so last time, kung mapapansin nyo, 16 to 17 minutes lang yung ginawa natin na learning kasi it's all about Google Classroom, di ba po? Yung mga natirang minutes doon, gagamitin natin siya to join our class and to explore Google Classroom. So, bakit yun na-explain yun? Kasi every 2 hours po ang ginagamit natin dito sa ating weekly learning sa computer. So, hindi tayo major subject, kaya 2 hours lang. So, kailangan natin ma-consume ang 2 hours natin. So, meron pa tayong 1 hour to go on our next session. And this is our next session. Every week, we have 2 sessions. So, 2 videos yung isesend ko sa inyo. Gamitin natin ng ayos. Kasi, every session, hindi natin matatapos yung video on time. So, probably 30 minutes, 20 minutes, and the rest, we will going to use them or the time na naiwan sa pagsasagot ng activities, pag-check ng mga events natin sa ating Google Classroom. So, for this video, estimated ko 30 to 40 minutes lang po. So, yung matitira, gamitin natin para sagutan yung ipapasagot ni Sir na activity sa ating Google Classroom. So, check natin lagi yung Google Classroom. So, before we start, I'm going to show you the book that we're going to use for this school year or semestral year. So, here's our book for Grade 8 students. So, nakalagay dyan, Web Design 6th edition. So, if may friend kayo last year na dating grade 8, pwede po kayong manghiram ng book. Ito yung gagamitin natin for the whole semestral year or the school year 2020-2021. So, kung may friends kayo, hiramin nyo na yung book. Ito yung gagamitin natin. Dito ko kukunin lahat, karamihan ng ating mga topics. So, yun po. So, no further ado, let's go to our first lesson for the school year 2020-21.
What do you want to be when you grow up, Olivia? An astronaut.
I want to be a fashion designer, a basketball player.
I want to be an actor, a doctor, a teacher, a chef,
An artist.
What do you want to be when you grow up? A mermaid.
Do you know what a computer programmer is?
Yeah, no.
No.
No. I think it's something that has codes and is able to decode a mystery.
I think that they...
Wait, what?
Computer programmer?
No.
Teaching possibly the stupidest thing in the entire universe, a computer, how to do something.
By the time I'm 8.5, I want to have app on the App Store.
You have to do a lot of programming. You gotta have the graphics, and then you have to program those graphics.
Programming is one of the only things in the world that you can do where you can sit down and just make something completely new from scratch, whatever you want.
You have to program everything and be like, blah, 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 blah. If blah, blah, blah happens, then blah, 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 blah will happen.
A lot of the coding that people do is actually fairly simple. It's more about the process of breaking down problems than, sort of coming up with complicated algorithms as people traditionally think about it.
That's what's really fun, because it's like, I think that I should make it where this one enemy, if someone hits it, it turns into a giant gorilla and runs and starts shooting a gun out of water.
When you're playing an app, you're just doing it for fun, and when you're making an app, you're making it for other people to enjoy.
Early thing was actually using software to decide when the classes in my school would meet, and that put me in a position to decide which girls were in my class.
I've always loved making graphics because I think 8-bit is kind of cool, but I've always liked the HD version.
So yeah, my favorite thing about making apps is definitely the graphic designing part of it. I really like to do the graphics. It's really, I just kind of bond with that. I don't know, I just have a thing for it. It's fun.
The first program I wrote asked things like, what's your favorite color? Or how old are you?
I first learned how to make a green circle and a red square appear on the screen.
The first time I actually had something come up and say, hello world, and I made a computer do that. It was just astonishing.
Yeah, a finished program is like a structure filled with light. All the corners are illuminated. You understand the structure of it.
Making an app usually requires a lot more work, and it also is really cool that you're making a functioning app.
It took me some time to realize that creating things with your hands or creating code, creating programs, is just a different way to express creativity.
I don't know, it just feels really good to be making apps for other people to play and enjoy and appreciate.
Now it's just limited by your imagination and sort of what kinds of ideas what kind of understanding can you build into the computer so that it can do these things that were previously impossible?
My favorite thing about making apps is that you have something fun to play at the end. When you make your video games, you get that little sense of accomplishment that you did something good.
Great things are built in teams when you collaborate with other smart people.
You're testing your ideas, you're stimulating each other. That's what makes us successful. It's not some flash of brilliance by somebody who then codes 24 hours a day for 3 weeks. It's what happens, the magic happens when we're all on the same page, collaborating and building something together.
So playing an app, you just sit back, relax, and don't look at the details. While making an app, actually you have to find problems, solve glitches, and make your app really cool.
Yeah, and I also like bragging to my friends that I've made video games.
To get the very best people, we try to make the office as awesome as possible.
We have a fantastic chef,
Free food,
breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
free laundry.
Snacks, even places to play and video games and scooters. There's all these kind of interesting things around the office and places where people can play or relax or go to think or play music or be creative.
All the other kids are like, whoa, you can make an app? And then I was like, yeah, sure can. And then everyone was like,
Computers are everywhere. You want to work in agriculture? Do you want to work in entertainment? Do you want to work in manufacturing? You know, it's just all over.
I could come up with the next Mario, I mean, who knows?
So you guys, what else? Who else has an idea of what we can change with our programming? What else can we do? Tiffany?
What I saw my students take away from using Scratch and programming in our classroom is that they were willing to push through problems. It really builds critical thinking, it builds problem solving, and it's something that they can then apply to math in the classroom or their reading skills. We integrated science with this programming, and I saw my scores go up 30%.
it makes me feel smart, and that's kind of cool in my opinion. So
now they laughed at me and all these things, and I'm like, man, I don't care. I think it's cool, and I'm learning a lot, and some of my friends have jobs.
It's important for these kids. It should be mandatory to be a citizen on this planet, to read and write code.
I never really thought that it was possible that I could actually do this, but it's possible. It's possible.
I just think you have to start small, right? And I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions about computer science and programming overall is that you have to learn this big body of information before you can do anything.
You don't have to be a genius to know how to code. You need to be determined.
Addition, subtraction, that's about it.
You should probably know your multiplication tables.
You don't have to be a genius to code. Do you have to be a genius to read? Do you have to be a genius to do math? No? No?
You're trying to make a lot of money, or whether you just want to change the world, computer programming is an incredibly empowering skill to learn.
To be able to actually come up with an idea and then see it in your hands and then be able to press a button and have it be in millions of people's hands. I mean, I think we're the first generation in the world that's really ever had that kind of experience.
The programmers of tomorrow are the wizards of the future. You know, you're going to look like you have magic powers compared to everybody else.
I think it's amazing. I think it's the closest thing we have to a superpower.
Okay, so umpisahan na po natin ang ating first lesson for this school year. So welcome grade 8 students. So our first lesson will be the World Wide Web. So alam niyo po ba yung World Wide Web? So yan yung nasa internet natin. So ano bang ibig sabihin ng World Wide Web? World Wide Web is a system using the internet to access information stored on a computer's World Wide Web. Essentially, it provides means of communication for our fast-paced and highly technological society. So, maraming used ang World Wide Web or ang ating internet. So, ang isa pang use niyan ay ang ginagawa natin ngayon, which is the online class. Because of the internet or the World Wide Web, natutulungan tayo nito na mag-aral ulit in this time of pandemic. So maraming gamit yan. Communication din ang isang use ng World Wide Web. Dahil sa World Wide Web, nagagamit natin ito para mag-communicate sa ating mga loved ones. Ganun din, magtrabaho. Dahil dito nakapag-work si Sir Xavier. And ganun din, maraming pwedeng gawin dito. For example, pwede tayo maglaro, manood ng movies, makinig ng music. So, napaka-useful ng ating World Wide Web. So, web page creation. So, ang pag-aaralan natin for this lesson or for the whole year ay paggagawa ng website. So, ano ba sabi dito? Web page creation involves a local computer where designers develop their web page and the server which contains the website and serves up the web pages for people to visit. These web pages contains information that we search for or try to access whenever we surf the internet. We do this by typing in a web address or a URL, or ibig sabihin ng URL, Uniform Resource Locator. So, saan makikita yung URL? Doon po sa may browser natin sa taas. So, yun nilalagyan natin ng www.facebook.com URL yun. So, kapag nag-type tayo doon, yun na, lalabas na yung webpage ng ating website. So, maraming gamit ang ating webpage. So, paano ba gumawa ng isang webpage? So, pag-aaralan natin yun dito sa ating lesson ng World Wide Web. So, basic ng programming yung pag-aaralan natin or programming language sa paggagawa ng website or web design. Kasi ang gamit nating book is web design. So, the next part is game time. So, mag-game time muna tayo para mag-enjoy tayo. So, pero habang nag-enjoy tayo, natututod tayong mag-type or gumaling mag-type kasi ang ating game is all about keyboard. So, step 1, go to this link. Pag nagpunta tayo sa link na yan, makikita natin tong nandito na opening screen. So, punta tayo Follow nyo lang si Sir Xavier. So, www.typing So, yan ang ating link. Typing games keyboard jump. So, tatype nyo lang to. And then, ida-direct na tayo sa ating link or sa ating website. So, wait lang natin So, ito po yun. So, the game is called Keyboard Jump. And then, go back to our presentation. And then, we have the second step. Kung kilala nyo yung lalaki, siya si Will Smith. Second step is pick easy difficulty and easy words. So yan ang mangyayari. Pipiliin natin yung easy and easy words. So punta tayo and then choose easy and then may sound siya. Patayin natin yung sound. And then click easy words. And then click play pag mag-start na tayo. So try natin. So yan. Diyan na kayo mag-start ng game. So, yung score nyo dito, ilalagay natin sa Google Classroom natin. Makikita natin doon. Isasend nyo sa akin doon sa Google Classroom. And then, irarank yan ni Sir. Every week, mapapalitan natin yung rank. So weekly, pwede tayo maglaro niyan. Tataas din yung ating difficulty. I-explain niya na si Xavier. So mag-abang lang tayo lagi ng announcement sa ating Google Classroom. So try natin.
5 minutes later.
So kung makikita nyo dyan, meron tayong part dun sa may taas. So yun yung buhay natin. And then meron tayong nasa gilid na bar. Level yan. Meron tayong score. Diyan natin makikita yung score natin. Papatay na ako. Pag natalo ako dito ng isang beses, yun na, lalabas na yung ating high score. Tingnan natin ha. Try natin magpatalo later. So, finish natin yung ating first bar. So, hanggang tumaas pa yung ating high score. So, try natin magpatalo. Ayan. So, lalabas dyan yung ating score. So, yan yung magiging ranking natin. Tsaka playtime. So, sasamahin natin yan. And then, ilalagay ko yung rank sa ating Google Classroom. So, kailangan isend nyo sa akin every week ang inyong rank. So, yan. So, go back to our presentation. Going back. So, the fourth step. Yan po. Yung fourth step natin ay ipiprint screen nyo yung ating high score. So, saan yung print screen? Makikita natin yun sa ating keyboard. Kapag print screen natin, so try natin mag-print screen na para matuto kayo. For example, ito yung print screen natin. I-click nyo yung PRT sa ating keyboard. Nakita nyo po ba yung PRT? Kapag kinlik nyo yung PRT, ibig sabihin ng print screen, punta kayo ng paint. After that, nasa paint na kayo. Right click nyo lang dito, or wala pala, hindi pala right click, sorry. Control V or paste. Saan yung paste? Ito yung paste natin. So yan, nandito na yung picture natin. And then go to file, click save as, and then isave nyo yung title. Gawin yung JPEG. So ito yung save type. Gawin yung JPEG. And then the title is week 1 game grade 7. Tapos pangalan nyo, Xavier is it, and then save. So pupunta siya dun sa pictures, kasi nasa pictures nakalagay yung destination natin. So kung gusto nyo ilagay nyo sa desktop, click yung desktop, dun siya mapapapunta. Okay, nagigets ko pa. So save natin, ibig sabihin dun pupunta sa desktop pa. Save, and then go to your desktop. So desktop natin. So yan, nandito na sa desktop yung picture. Tapos ito na yung isasend natin kay Sir Xavier. Nakukuha po ba? So kung hindi nyo maintindihan, you can go back to the certain video or time ng video natin. Ulitin nyo lang yung ating recordings. So dito na tayo sa step 4. So after that, so ayun nga po. So the score from the game will be considered as one of your output. So may grade yan, guys. Score ranks will be displayed on your next session. Or next week, rather. Okay, going back to the topic. So sabi dito, web pages are created by designers using languages like HTML, hypertext markup link ang ibig sabihin ng HTML, and the XHTML, extensible hypertext markup link, used to tell browsers how to display your web page. So language siya, kumbaga. So ang language na pag-aaralan natin is called hypertext markup language or HTML. So sa HTML we have 3 W3C standards. So ano ba W3C? So it's a website. Website siya kung saan an organization that is led by Tim Berners-Lee. Website and also an organization. Inventor of the web. So ang nag-invent daw, tatandaan natin ay si Tim Berners-Lee. So malay natin kasama yan sa ating questions in the future activities. This organization is made up of more than 450 organizations including Microsoft, Apple Incorporated, etc. And details about W3C can be found in its website, which is the www.w3.org. So, Notepad. Bakit natin i-discuss yung Notepad? Kasi we're going to use Notepad. So, dyan ginagawa yung mga website. So, mostly dyan ginagawa yung mga basic. Dyan natin pag-aaralan yung paggagawa ng website natin. So, meron naman tayong Notepad. So, paano ba pumunta sa Notepad? So, later on, ipapakita yan ni Sir Xavier sa ating screen. So, para makasunod tayo, ipa-follow nyo lang ako. If may nalimutan kayo, balik lang kayo sa video. Pwede nyo namang ibalik. And so, itong ibig sabihin ng Notepad. Notepad uses basic text formatting to make and edit text files. It may be the simplest tool for making web pages, but there are other web development tools available. So, madaming pwedeng gamitin na tools. Pero for this tutorial or classroom natin, ang gagamitin natin is Notepad. Siya kasi ang pinaka basic at saka almost lahat ng computer meron siya. Unlike dun sa other development tools na kailangan pang mag-install or mag-download sa web. Okay. So, paano ba ginagawa ang ating HTML? So, meron tayong HTML tags. So, ano yung mga HTML tags natin? So, sabi dito, H tags in the text box plays a role in creation of your HTML. So, ito yung mga tags natin. Kung mapapansin nyo, we have HTML, head, title, and body. Okay, so ito yung mga tags natin which is the HTML tags. We have the HTML, the head, the title, and the body. So ano ba yung mga yan? So sabi dito sa description, HTML indicates that the file is composed of HTML commands. Diba sabi ko nga sa inyo, maraming programming language na pwedeng pag-aralan. So ang pinaka-basic na pag-aaralan natin is the HTML. So kaya ang ibig sabihin ng HTML ay isa siyang programming language. So, meron tayong head din. So, kailangan natin ilagay yung HTML sa ating programming tag ha. Huwag niyong kakalimutan. So, later on, ipapakita ko sa inyo kung paano ba gamitin ang mga tags na ito. So, we're going to our second tag, which is the head. So, sabi dito, usually contains the web page title, scripts, meta information, and more. So, dyan natin ilalagay yung title natin. Yun ang pinaka-basic. And yung meron pang scripts, meta information, etc. And for the title, ito yung ilalagay natin. So, mismo, dapat nasa loob siya ng head natin. Later on, ipapakita ni Sir kung paano. This contains the title of web page that usually describes the web page content. It is usually seen in the title bar of the browser window or on the browser's tabs. So, papakita natin saan makikita yung title tags. So, go to the browser. So, ito yan. Dito nyo makikita. Asan ba yan? Ito. Yung list of PLDT, save your estilos, yung mga title na nakasulat, dyan, ang ginamit dyan is title tags. So, yun po. And then, we have the body. So, we have the body. Where is the body? So, dito tayo. We have the body. Body defines the document body, which includes the content on an HTML document like text, hyperlink, list, images, etc. So, ano ba yung nasa body? So, going back to the browser. So, lahat na nakikita nyo dito, yan, yung mga nasa PLDT, yung pictures, lahat yan nasa body ng ating body tags. So, paano nangyari yon? So, mamaya, medyo baka hindi nyo pa nagigets. Papakita ko sa inyo later on kung paano talaga. Pero ito yung description ng ating mga HTML tags. Okay, so next up, so empty tags. Meron tayong empty tags. Empty tags are standalone use which have the following format. So, ito yung ginagamit na tag which is the empty tag. So, mostly para siyang ginagamit siya sa mga paglilink ng website. So, later on, sa mga next learnings natin, mapapagdaanan natin yan kung ano ba talaga ang gamit ng empty tags. So, empty tags can be thought of as shortcuts since there is no data placed between the opening and the closing tags. So, ano yung opening and closing tags? So, didiscuss sa inyo yan ni Sir Xavier. So, essential yan. Dapat alam natin yung opening and closing tags. So, mamaya, dun sa mismong paggagawa na. So, yan. Meron na pala dito. So, kung mapapansin nyo, ito yung mismong gawa na website. So, yan. Yung malaking yan. Pinalaki ko na. So, may nakalagay dito, doctype HTML, tapos HTML, head, title, and then the title, tapos ito yung closing tag natin. Kung nakikita nyo yung may slash, ibig sabihin yun, sinarado na ng title yung nasa title. So, pag may opening, may closing. For example, HTML, nasa ng closing ng HTML, nasa dulo. So, make sure na okay, so ito, naggawa na ako dito ng example na tags. So, laging tatandaan na pag may opening, meron tayong closing. So, for this one, we have the opening. Ang opening natin ay yung HTML, and then ang closing natin ay yung /HTML. So, laging tatandaan na kapag may slash, may naka-close siya. So, yun ang indication na close yung tag natin. So, laging tatandaan na pag may opening, mayroong closing. Okay? So, laging tatandaan din na ang pinakaunang nilalagay dyan ay dapat pala hindi mawawala ay ang HTML tag. Kasi ibig sabihin, ang gamit natin na programming language is HTML. Okay? So, ito, example, gawa na siya na website. So, nakalagay dito, doctype HTML, head. So, laging nakalagay ang head after the HTML, and then title. And then sa loob ng title, ito yung may indicate sa browser natin, yung pinakita ko kanina sa inyo. And then kailangan natin i-close ulit yung head. Laging default natin nasa loob ng head yung ating title tags. And then after the head, ano sunod? We have the body. And then sa loob ng body, doon natin ilalagay ko yung gusto nating ma-indicate sa ating website. So, meron pa tayong tag dito na P, which stands for paragraph. So, later on natin yung pag-aaralan. Huwag nyo munang pansitin masyado. And then, sa loob nito, we have the final tag, which is the HTML tag na naka-close. Yung naka-sharp na, naka-slash na yon. Ibig sabihin, close na natin yung tag. So, lagi natin lalagyan sa dulo ng slash sign. Laging tatandaan yun ha, kasi karamihan dyan nagkakamali eh. Nakagawa sila ng head, na close. Nakagawa ng body, na close. Pero nalimutan nilang i-close yung buong HTML. So, lalagyan lagi ng slash sign. So, papakita natin kung paano ba siya, kung anong mangyayari kapag nira natin siya later on. Okay? So, alam ko nakakalito pa sa una, pero later on, malilinawan tayo kung paano ba gamitin ang mga yan. So, document type definition. Every web page must contain a doc type definition so the browser know what type of document your web page is. With HTML5, only the following should be included on the top of the page. So, ito yan. Yang, open in bracket, tapos exclamation point, doc type, space, HTML. So, ibig sabihin, ito ang gamit natin na language. So, sa taas lagi yun ilalagay. Dito. So, magra-run pa rin yan kahit walang ganito. Pero, make sure na nakalagay ito. Kasi, indication niya na HTML5 yung gamit natin. So, we have keywords dito. So, yung keywords natin, tatandaan, we have the browser. For example, ng browser is yung Google, Internet Explorer, Mozilla. And then we have the empty tags, tags that do not have opening and closing tags. HTML, ang meaning ng HTML, hypertext, markup, language. And then we have the HTTP. Saan nilalagay yung HTTP? Dun sa may www dot. So, pakita ko sa inyo. So, dito siya makikita sa HTTPS. Yan. Kapag naglagay kayo, meron lagi dito na gray area. Gray color pala na HTTPS. So, yan yung HTTPS natin. Okay, so HTTP means Hypertext Transfer Protocol. And then Notepad, yung kanina. And then tags, HTML commands, yung mga head, title, HTML. So, HTML tags ang tawag doon. And then the URL, yung pinaglalagyan natin ng website, which means Uniform Resource Locator or the web address. And then W3C or World Wide Web Consortium. And then the WW, kung hindi nyo alam yung WW, yun yung World Wide Web natin. Okay, so patapos na tayo. So, gagawa na tayo ng ating website. So, lahat ng pinag-aralan nating tags, dito natin gagamitin. So, meron tayong step-by-step process para hindi tayo malito. So, for this time, susundan nyo si Sir Xavier para gumawa ng website, okay? So, mabibigyan na ng linaw lahat ng pinag-aralan natin dito. Sasabay lang kayo ha. So, first step, open your notepad. Sabi dito, step 1, open your notepad. So, paano i-open yan? Go to your start button and then type nyo notepad. Yan, ito yung notepad. Kapag nakita nyo na, enter nyo lang or click nyo. So, ito dapat ang lalabas dyan. Yan, nawala. Ito dapat yung lalabas. Okay na ba? So, kung hindi kayo makasunod, replay nyo lang yung sinasabi ni Sir. And then, ilagay daw natin yung tag. So, ito yung default tag natin. Gayahin natin si Sir Xavier ha. Ito lagi ilalagay natin. Okay. So, first off, ilagay natin doctype. Doctype space HTML. So, yan yung first natin na tag na ilalagay para ma-indicate na ang gamit natin is HTML5. And then, the next one is HTML. So, gayahin nyo lang si Sir Xavier. So, kapag may opening, meron tayong closing. So, ilagay nyo lagi yung closing. Para hindi tayo malito na lagyan nyo agad ng closing. So, ang HTML na walang slash is the opening and then yung may slash is the closing. So, laging yan ang pinakaunang tag na nilalagay natin. And then the third tag is called head. So, lagyan natin ng head. Nasa loob dapat siya ng HTML ha. Head. Yan. Ba't ba F? Sinandi natin. And then, close. Kailangan meron tayong bracket. Kasi pag wala yan, hindi gagana. Okay, dapat walang mawawala. Kapag merong opening, anong sunod? Meron tayong closing. So, lagyan ng slash and then head. So, yan. Meron na tayong tatlong tag which is the doctype, HTML, and the head. And then sa loob ng head, doon natin ilalagay yung ating title. Okay, so importante din dito yung ating spelling. Kasi kapag nagkamali kayo ng spelling, hindi magra-run yung ating web page. So, title. Kapag merong opening, merong closing. So, laging tatandaan na nasa loob ng HTML ang head, nasa loob ng head ang title. And then, sa ilalim ng head, so, pwede kayong maglagay ng space para hindi kayo malito. So, pwede din ganito. Yan. Basta laging tatandaan na nasa loob dapat ng HTML ang head. Lahat ng code na ilalagay nyo nasa loob dapat ng HTML natin. And then sa loob ng head, laging dun nilalagay ang ating title. So, anong gusto nyo lagay na title dyan? So, lagay nyo ay my first web page. My first web page. So, pwede kayo magpaturo sa inyong mga parents kung nahihirapan kayo. Web page. Ayan. Kakamali ako ng pagtatype. And then, the last code. Ano yung last code natin? Yung body. So, laging tatandaan na sa ilalim siya ng head. Laging nasa ilalim ng ulo ang katawan, di ba? Kahit naman sa katawan ng mga tao, ng tao. So, lalagyan ng opening tag, which is the body. Kapag may opening, anong sunod? We have the slash or closing ng body. So, yan. Ito na yung basic natin. So, may kulang pa. Lalagyan natin ng word sa loob ng ating body. Kasi yung body natin, yan yung pinaka makikita sa website. So, lagyan natin ng hello world. Yan. So, ito na yung ating codes. Basic code. So, dapat nyong pag-aralan talaga to. Kasi sa buong quarter, buong year, ito ang gagawin natin. Gagamitin natin lahat. Sa lahat ng quarter. Almost dito iikot lahat. So, dapat pag-aralan ng ayos itong basic codes. We have the doctype HTML for the language indication na ang gamit natin na HTML5. We have the HTML, the head, and sa loob ng head, we have the title, and then sa ilalim ng katawan, we have the body, opening, and closing. So, lahat ng tag nasa loob siya ng HTML natin. So, paano siya pagaganahin or gagawing website? So, go to File and Save As. Follow nyo lang ha. Dapat ipa-follow nyo lang yung gagawin ko. And then, go to Desktop. So, magla-launch to. Yan. Magla-launch to. Ulitin natin ha. Go to File. Go to Save As. So, magla-launch yan. So, ibig sabihin sa desktop, magsisave. So, ilagay nyo dito. Buburahin nyo nakasulat. Ilagay nyo yung title ng ating web page. Ilagay nyo my space first. So, wag nyo munang isi-save. Ang gagawin nyo sunod, lalagyan nyo ng dot and then HTML. So, kailangan merong .html kasi hindi siya magra-run as a browser kapag hindi nyo ginawa yan. Laging tatandaan yan ha. Huwag kayo mag-i-skip ng tutorial kasi hindi nyo magagawa. And then, i-save nyo. So, ibig sabihin, dun siya mag-save sa desktop. So, save nyo. So, ano nangyari? So, nag-save na siya sa ating desktop. Go back to your web sa inyong desktop. So, ito yung desktop ko. So, ito yun. Nakalagay my first web page. So, right-click nyo lang, open with Google Chrome. Kung wala kayong Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, or Mozilla. So, ulitin ha. Right-click, open with Google Chrome. So, yan na yung first web page. Kung mapapansin nyo, yung ating title, ito yon, my first web page. And then, yung nasa body natin, ito yon, hello world. Nakukuha po ba? So, yan. Congratulations, nakagawa ka na ng ating first web page ng iyong first website. Yay! Okay. So, yun na. Nasa ano na tayo? Step 5 na yan. So, yung step 3, nagawa natin. Step 4, nagawa natin. Na-open natin sa browser. And sa step 5, for example lang, nagkamali tayo dito. So, go back to your notepad. For example, nalimutan yung maglagay ng tag na title. So, for example lang ha, tagtagin natin to. So, nawala yung title, di ba? And then, i-save natin. And then, i-open nyo ulit or i-reload yung inyong web page, which is the my first web page. So, ano nangyari? Yung my first web page, napapunta siya sa body. Kasi, hindi nyo nalagyan ng title. So, dito dapat mapapunta yung title. So, kailangan nandun yung tag. Wala dapat error. Kasi kapag may error, hindi gagana ng ayos ang ating website. So, once na troubleshoot nyo na, mali pala. Dapat pala meron akong title tag. So, lagyan nyo ng title tag. And then, save nyo ulit. And then, reload the web page. So, okay na. Nawala na may first web page. Pumunta na ulit sa title. Okay, so yan po ang basic ng ating HTML. So, kapag nalito kayo, balik lang kayo sa sinasabi ni Sir and i-analyze nyo kung paano ba gawin yung dapat gawin para magawa ng webpage. So, maraming pwedeng pag-aralan pa sa internet at sa mga susunod natin na session, maraming pag-aaralan regarding sa paggagawa ng webpage. Pero for the basic, yan muna. So, after nito, magkakameron tayo ng website or ng activity. So, gagawa kayo ng inyong website. Ang nakasulat doon ay Hello World. Yung katulad ng ginawa ni Sir Xavier. And then, ipapasa nyo sa akin siya as activity nyo sa inyong Google Classroom. So, katulad ng ginawa ko, dapat gagawin nyo yung ginawa ko, yung ganyan, Hello World na nakasulat. And yan yung inyong first website. Okay, so yan lang ang ating topic at first lesson natin, which is the World Wide Web. At saka yan yung ating paggagawa ng ating website. So, sana nakagawa kayo ng ating webpage o first website nyo, and congrats! And meron tayong verse of the day. So, be sober-minded, be alert. Your adversary, the devil, is prowling around like a roaring lion, looking for anyone he can devour. 1 Peter 5 verse 8. So, see you again on our next sessions. May the Lord smile on you.